Hey guys, so I'm gonna go and tell you about why did I start social media. I I apologize if I say a lot. The reason why I say a lot is because my brain thinks pretty fast, and so I'm trying to think of on how to word things, what's coming out of here out into what I say. So I really apologize if I say that. I am really working on not doing that. So there's many reasons why I started doing YouTube. So for those that went and watched me at the very beginning, I was on TikTok. And the reason why I started social media was because of many factors on why and the way my life was going. So first thing is that I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur my entire life, but I was told a lot of things about no, that's what losers do. So I kind of did not do that. So I put my time and effort into following a certain path that I was taught, where you go, graduate from high school, you go to college, you get a 9 to 5, you stick with it for the rest of your life, and then, you get married and then you have children, kind of is the thought process. So I was headed that way. And I ended up graduating, and the degree that I got at the time was what I really wanted. And I graduated during COVID, and it was very, very stressful. Doing the student teaching, it was highly stressful, and in my opinion, I felt I was being taken advantage of, doing way more extra things. And I just felt so stressed out all the time. And I asked myself, could I do this for the rest of my life, where I'm so stressed out of my mind, and this is going to be the rest of my life till I die? And I was like, no, I can't do that. And so I graduated kind of confused on what else is there. And so that's kind of when I explored, and I did a bunch of other things. I went and I quit my main job, and then I went and did a bunch of random jobs out there just to explore. And it worked out fine and all that. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to go on my own officially without help. So I did do that, and I went and started doing doing my own business. And it was good and all that, but it was way more stressful than I thought in my mind. And so I ended up quitting. And I knew that when you start a business, you have to do social media to gain attraction in what you do. And so that's kind of what I did. And I realized, this is so stressful doing everything on your own. And it was getting really expensive, and I wasn't making as much as I thought I would to make the bills. And so I was like, okay, this isn't working out. I feel stressed out of my mind constantly. Like, if I feel that all the time, this isn't right for me. So I went and quit that. And at this time period, I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to go and do a 9 to 5 and just suck it up. And, having a job when 9 to 5 that I picked out my degree was gonna go and watch every little thing that I do. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's I totally understand it, but that isn't what I really wanted. And so I ended up just being really confused. And so I then was like, okay, well, maybe I need to get a 9 to 5 because I was not making, but I was choosing one that was not as much. income. And so right now I'm at that point. I have two main jobs, normal, and it's fine. It puts me through, just coast through in life. Okay. But I know that I have to make more. So that's kind of why I am here, to try to go and make income from YouTube, and then also from TikTok. And I was thinking that I could go and make a community, and then go and people that connect with me, go and have them pay to talk to me, because we need people to go and understand us, I think. And it doesn't have to be like someone that is certified, like a psychologist in therapy. It doesn't have to be that. Just someone that understands us and can listen to us. I think that more and more people feel very lonely, and so that's kind of what I was hoping for, because I think that is what I'm good at, is connecting with people. So I kind of did that, and the community was not really big enough to go and attract people to charge for that. So I was like, okay, so I'm working on building this platform, making my brand, and that is one of my reasons, is because I know that people feel very lonely, and the people feel like they don't understand them and want to listen to them, and that life hardships is just really rough, and we keep things within ourselves and just bottle up when we should be discussing it, like hardships, especially people that are more on the shy side, or they just don't like to speak up in general. And so I am just really big about that, and I'm not really afraid to speak my mind. The only time I was when I was thinking that I was going into the teaching field, and maybe later on I will do that, but I also have to think that every little thing that I do is being watched, and one little G-rated thing that could be taken the other way, you get fired. And so that's why I was a little bit afraid to go and start doing this. But I remind myself that I know that I want to touch as many people's lives as possible. And the only way is to do that online. I know that for sure. There's like 8 billion people in the world or more. And the only way is to go on social media, to go and reach out and see how many people you can pull in, and they can see your perspective, and maybe they will feel understood about whatever. And I think that is another one of my reasons is to go and touch as many people's lives, because in person there's a limit of how many people you can touch their life. And one time my husband asked me, when you're dead, what would you want people to remember you by? And I honestly never really thought about this till he asked me that, and I said, honestly, I think that I'm a caring person, and that I brought something in someone's life, whatever, like some kind of value. And so that is, and to be known for whatever skills that I have. So that is another reason why I went on here, is that, and to make income, because I personally feel that I have lived a life where it feels like a constant struggle. It's like constantly in survival mode, and it is just nothing but stress. And you want to live a life of abundance, and to do that is to go online. And from my understanding, I've heard that where the income is, it's on YouTube, not on TikTok. So I was like, okay. And I realized that I have to go and focus on one platform. So which is it going to be? And so and someone said YouTube is where the income's at. I'm like, okay, so there you go. So that is why I am on YouTube. And another thing is that, I was so focused on a 9 to 5, and you stick with it for the rest of your life. And that's what I was taught. And then, someone that I'm close to went and really drilled this in my brain. And I looked at their life and I was like, they are in their nearly 80 at this point, and they have put themselves in so much debt like nobody's business, like so much to the point it's like when they wake up, it's nothing but dread and feeling like just giving up because it's just that much. And I realized that is not what I want in my life, is to go and feel like when I wake up, I'm just thinking about that the rest of my time. And I don't want that. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that. And so how to go and have that abundance and to go and make sure that you don't have so much debt is to go and be recognized, to put yourself out there. And I thought a lot about okay, when you go online, that is out there for the rest of your life. And I was told this multiple times by teachers, whatever you put out, that is there forever. So it's better not to go online. And it's a fear tactic. And I think that, I was kind of scared because, if you make a fool out of yourself, then by accident, then that's out there forever. And, I have to remind myself every single day, what? I'm going to be dead. I have no idea when this is going to be. And, if I make a fool of myself by accident, then then so what? I'm going to be dead. Who cares? And people will forget. And, people think that everyone's looking at them when in reality, everyone's focused on themselves and, going through their struggles. That's the only time that someone is focused on you is because they are not focusing on themselves and they are bored. They just stop growing as a human being. So if someone is constantly criticizing you all the time, then they just stop growing as a human being because they're not focusing on how to improve. And a lot of people that have criticized me, you just look at their life and you're like, if I were you, I'd be working on your life. And so that's just kind of my experience. A lot of people that have criticized me and watched me around the clock and tell me awful things, close people around me, I just look at their life and I'm like, if I were you, I'd be focusing on that, but okay, whatever you say. And so there is that. And also if you make a fool out of yourself, because you know what, things happen, it is what it is. You can go and do redemption. So eventually people will forget that you did that and you just move on. So if you say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, whatever, to offend a whole bunch of people, then you just go and over time you're gonna do redemption and people will move on. That's just how life goes. And so there is that. And also another reason is that I think that I mentioned I've had dreams. Like, and I kind of take my dreams seriously, which is probably a little laughable to people, but I don't really care. And, I've been very analytical kind of person. And so I kind of pick up on things. And, I don't know, I feel in my mind, like my higher self has told me you need to go online to go and say what you saw in your dreams. And so that's kind of what I started out with when I was doing YouTube. I didn't really too much mention it on TikTok and Instagram. I was kind of like going through a lot at the time period when I first started. And so first I'm going to just talk about the dreams, and then I'll tell you about what the heck happened on TikTok. So for my dreams, I went and saw something, and I honestly really wish that I never saw this ever. Like, I honestly, I really wish I did not, because it has stuck with me for the rest of time. And I don't know why, but since I would pick up things, I don't know why, but this is going to be really weird to people, but I went and asked myself in my brain, hey, show me solve world issues. And so I had certain dreams and certain thoughts, and just picking up on some psychological things about people, I went and saw things. So the first one is that I saw, what was it? It was like tiny homes in the street, and it was as if I was there, and it was kind of like, it was, colorful homes, and it was very futuristic. There was a lake, all this stuff, and it was where the homeless go and stay. And I was like, okay. And so I don't know, it just felt like it was so real. I was there. Anyway, then I had this idea in my head, I don't really know, about how if there was a way to do professional organizing cleaning for homeless communities. And for what I have seen is that the reason why people are homeless is because of certain habits. So if you go and organize, you can pick up on people's habits. And if you can pick up on people's habits, then you can go and change it. And it really starts at home, right? And so I was thinking in my mind is if there was a company that went in and did professional organizing through a psychological stance, and they could go and change those habits that the homeless people have. And then they would go and realize that, you can go, if you're an organizer, you can go and change people's habits without them really knowing it. And it's just something that organizers can pick up. And so then they would go and change it without them knowing. And I was thinking in my head is that if this community had a way where they had all the resources, therapists and spiritual people and all these different programs to go in and better themselves, then I think that there'd be less and less people off the street. And so that's kind of what I envisioned in my head. And so when I did my, organizing and cleaning, that's what I had in mind, where that would be the end result. But then I felt like I was in over my head, and I was like, what the heck is, this is like it's just seems way over my head kind of deal, and it's just like too much. And so I didn't think that maybe I could go and have people see what I see in my brain. And so I went and stopped that. And so that's kind of why I went and kind of started this organizing cleaning business, was to go and gain attraction, going for the wealthy, and then go and accrue that amount, and then go and over time make a homeless community where these ideas were implemented. That was my thought process, but I was literally in over my head thinking that. And so that's kind of why I went and started social media. And probably what the things I said at the very beginning was a little odd, but that's kind of on the lines of what I was trying to get across, I suppose. And so that is why I went and did that. And, I used certain strategies about, using psychological stances in people's homes, and with their organizing and changing it and their thought processes. And so that's kind of what I was thinking in my mind to do. And then also I went and saw, just thinking in my mind, well, maybe I'm supposed to go and just tell these ideas, and then maybe someone will see my point of view and will do it, or something like that. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking, because I currently didn't have the finances to go and do that, or I felt I was in over my head, and I was just stressed out of my mind. And so I went and mentioned so I was thinking in my mind of okay, people are addicted to sugar, and I'm really big about trying to wake people up and have them realize that a lot of the things that you do without really without even knowing, unconsciously you're doing it for survival and all that. And so I was thinking to go and try my best to wake people up. And so how do you do that? Is to go and use using sugar to go and have people addicted to come to you. So what you would do is, my thought process was to go get a vending machine, and most vending machines have candy or sugary items, and then you put affirmations on it, and then you go and certain affirmations that the public should have all the time. And so since people are addicted to sugar and addicted to just watching videos, so what you would do is you would have a video on the vending machine, and then you would have it so they would play games or something like that, and then you would have it the candy bars would have a QR code to go and attach it to your platform kind of deal. And so people would become addicted to you, and because they're already addicted to sugar, because we all know this. And so you would go and use that information, and you would slowly but surely wake people up to go and have them realize that they don't have to live in survival mode the rest of their lives. And so that's kind of my thought process, was to go and start something like that, so I can go and wake people up. And because that's what I was seeing in my dream, was that to go and be able to get people to see that there's a whole other side in their life of feeling happiness and not feeling this constant sadness and just this constant feeling of anxiety, because that's what the public is feeling around the clock, is that. And we're all in survival mode, and people just don't know it. And in order to wake people up based on what I have seen and all of the readings and just information that I have looked into, is by doing affirmations, and to go and use on a psychological stance on how people think. And so that was my way of how to bring out on getting people to wake up and to see there's another way on to live your life than to feel stuck in doing the things you don't want to do, because that's what I was taught. And so that's kind of why I started it, because I wanted to share that and to go and talk more into and have people see, just a point of view, and to go and have people connect and, to see there's more to life than just living in survival mode, because that's what most people are doing without even really knowing it. And so that's kind of what I was thinking that I was heading towards. So that's another reason why. And then another thing is, I had this dream, and I talked about this in another video, where the thing is that I think that makes the world go round, and to, put humanity in a different direction to improve it, because I think that we are not as far along as we thought we would be, just in general. And so I think that the more people wake up, that equals to more issues being solved in the world, because they would go towards entrepreneurship, and you're gonna go and start solving more and more issues. I don't think I am here to go and to go and solve solve world problems. I'm supposed to go and connect people. I think that's what my job is. I don't know. That's just what I've dreamed of. That I think that is what I'm here for, is to connect people and to touch as many people's lives as possible, and maybe get more and more people to become an entrepreneur, and that way they will do what they're supposed to be doing, more aligned to what makes them happy. So the more people that are happy, and that brings in more and more hope. That's just what I am seeing in my brain. I don't know if this makes sense, but that is what I saw. And so I think that more and more issues that are solved, world issues, then that is hope. So let's say, for an example, if I am correct about the homeless issue, on if maybe that's how it's solved, I have no idea if I am correct in what the heck I saw or thought of, but I think that is what it is, based on what I have experienced in life and, seen psychologically. Maybe that is the way. I have no idea. But that is what I think. So there is that. And I forgot where I was going. Okay, so the more that I can get people aligned to what they're supposed to do, and then if they realize that they want to be an entrepreneur and solve more and more issues, or the more people that are happy, that are more aligned, then I think that I can get more and more people to connect. So if I am so good that I could go and get entrepreneurs together, the people that are really, really good, I think that possibly the projection of, I think, where humanity could go more forward. So if the best entrepreneurs, not saying I am the best, clearly not, because I don't really have the most whatever, but I think that I am good at connecting with people. So I think, I don't know, but I saw this in my dream where there was this floating building, and it had like gold flooring. It was tiled, it was gorgeous, it was glittery, and I saw it was so futuristic. I swear, I really wish I never even saw this, but I thought in my mind I should be sharing this and whatnot, and I thought this was so ridiculous. I was like, what the heck is wrong with me? Why the heck did I see this? And I thought, like, who the heck would even share this? Like, it's stupid. But I don't know. I thought in my mind I'm supposed to be sharing this. And so the only way is through social media. So what I saw was this floating building. It had these gold flooring, and it was just beautiful. It was just magnificent, this building. It was in the sky. And I saw this huge chandelier, like the biggest chandelier ever. And I saw there's like candles everywhere. And I think that, beauty is considered hope. And that when people see dancing and hear music, it's a form of hope. So I think that if this building was made, then just hear me out here. Then you see these people dancing, and then you hear this beautiful music. It's this huge building, it's floating, and you go and see. It's just the only way that you could get there is through like a helicopter or plane, whatever. And there's several rooms there, like kind of like a hotel situation. And there was the best entrepreneurs there, and they're doing whatever the heck they're trying to do to solve whatever issue. And there's an affirmation that goes and lights up every time at night. And it's all over the world and translated in different languages. And people will go and see this certain affirmation. And the ones that have not woken up will go and slowly but surely possibly wake up or be more aligned get their form of happiness. They will see that, and they will start to change, start to wake up and not live a life of just unhappiness. And I think that if there was affirmation and you look up and you see that it's just this beautiful building, the best entrepreneurs are there, and you go and think that the best entrepreneurs are in this building, and there are so many beings out there that they are put in a position where it's almost impossible to be more aligned to what they're supposed to do in life. And I mean, this could be spiritual or whatever you want to say it is. I'm sort of is spiritual, but I don't know. I think in my mind, I can pick up on who is more aligned to what they're supposed to be doing in life, like their happiness. Like, I don't know. I just pick up on people's energies. So, so there is that. And so the best entrepreneurs there, and they pull in the beings that are it's almost impossible to go and be where they're supposed to be. So they will be in this building and they will go and learn on where they're supposed to be at. So the most talented kids or the most talented adults that just cannot get there will live in this certain place and will go and do what they're supposed to be doing, whatever, more alignment to what they should be doing. If a child is, so good at music, for an example, and they live in a third world country, that is very difficult, very, very difficult to go and spread their talent out there in the world. And so if they were put in this building and grew up there, then they had a higher chance to go and spread what their talented is. And so that's what I think. So if people look up and they see this building that's floating, because when you see something that is magical, that is a sign of hope in some way, and it's kind of solving an issue. So you see this building that's floating, and you hear the music, you see the dancing people, the best entrepreneurs there, that the beings that are that are so talented, and they're working on spreading their talent, then I think that is a sign of hope, and that more and more people will be more aligned to where they're supposed to be heading to in life. So that's just kind of what I saw. And honestly, I really wish I did not see this. Like, oh my goodness, why did I ever see that? But that's what I think that possibly is what would need to be done to get more and more beings to be aligned to what they're supposed to be doing in life. So in order to figure out what you're supposed to be doing in life is whatever brings in fulfillment to your core and brings genuine happiness to your core is what is alignment, from my understanding. And so that is why I went and started social media, is to share this with people and to connect with people and to maybe get people to see my point of view and to go and see, maybe are my ideas correct. I have no idea if they are correct. I have no idea. Like, who knows? Maybe it's all messed up and doesn't make sense. I don't really know. And that's what I'm here for, is to see, is it correct? And if it's wrong, it's wrong. It is what it is. It could be completely wrong in what I think. And I don't know if anyone's going to understand what I have said or what I saw in my dreams. And, who knows, maybe it's just all made up and all that. But I think that a lot of what I saw in my dreams are correct, because I went and tried certain things, to go and wake people up. And, I went and did, certain ways on how to go and wake people up in their own home and to have them be more aligned to what they should be doing. And so that's kind of why I am on social media. And I honestly thought, like, who knows, I might make a fool of myself and gonna get laughed at. But I mean, part of influencing is that not everyone is going to agree with whatever you do. Like me just sitting at a bench at a park someone is going to disagree and start making fun of me. Just sitting at a park bench. That's it. And so it's whatever. And so I just went and decided I'm going to go and do social media, and I'm going to share what I saw. I'm going to share whatever the ideas that popped into my head, and go and share more about my life, and to go and, have the abundance that I've always wanted in life. And, it's been a really difficult road, because I went and started social media when I was not in the best state of mind, because at the time I went through a very rough experience, which is going to be in another video, and I was not sleeping. And so that probably explains why when I started on TikTok, I look really tired, and was probably saying a lot of strange things at the very beginning. And so it was very off-putting, and I got a lot of backlash from people that were more on my circle, and it is what it is. And I kind of figured that no matter what I did or said, there would be backlash, even if I was just like, if I was, going and, taking a picture of me in a hat all the time, someone would have something to say, no matter what, like something bad to say. Like, it's whatever. And so, yeah, like, I've gotten, people closer in my circle, like, looking at me like, what the heck? And it's like, whatever, at this point. Like, I just remind myself I'm going to be dead one day. It's like, whatever at this, and the people that see my content, like, in 100 years, like, they're going to be dead too. So it's like, whatever. And if you really look at the grand scheme of things, is like, there's Earth, and, you see there's this whole universe of, there's so many other planets, and how minuscule is, like, what you do in life. It's like, who really cares, honestly, when there's so many other planets that, that's going on. It's like, whatever. And so I kind of remind myself that, like, what I do is so minuscule, because there's this whole universe out there, and there's like 8 billion people in the world or more. And it's like, who cares what I do? And yeah, I just, that's kind of why I went on social media, is to go and share my thoughts and ideas. And that's like not the only one. Like, you had to watch my other videos to see what the heck I'm talking about. But yeah, that is some of it. And so I'm here to share my ideas, and to go and connect with people, and to have people see my point of view, and to, produce more money. So maybe I could try one of my ideas and see, maybe is there any truth to what I saw, and are my dreams all made up? I don't know. And I'm just one of those people that just takes my dreams very seriously. And I don't know, I'll ask myself a question, and then I'll be seeing things, and I'm like, wow. But yeah, it's just, that's why I am on here, is to produce more. And, I don't want to live a struggling life my entire life. And I don't want to be the person where I am living a lack of, and, regretting to do this, and regretting to go and share my ideas, no matter how odd and outlandish they are. And, to, go and, connect with others, and hopefully that people can see what I'm talking about. But I think that a lot of it, of what I see in my mind, maybe are people that are spiritual or so, maybe even more so than me. But I don't know, I just always felt certain energies and certain things that, like, figuring people's strengths and how to pull that out of others and to go and connect with others and to go and influence. I think that I have a strong way of influencing people. So when I say something, like, let's say I talk about like reading and I go and discuss about this really interesting book or whatever, and I get them excited for it, and I go and I'm very good at getting people to envision themselves doing whatever. And so I'll say some things, and before I know it, when I come back to see them, I see that they started reading, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And I'll literally see it on their coffee table, and they never even told me that they went and started reading. It's just on their coffee, and I'm like, wow, okay, like I got them. So I know that there's some form that I can influence others, and I know that I'm a very bold person. Like, that's just how I've always been very bold. Like, I just do whatever. And I think that I stand out to people, just whatever the things I do or say, all that. And so I think that's also why I go on here, because I know I can influence people, because I do really outlandish or say some strange things. And I think that part of influencing is that you're going to get made fun of at the very beginning, and then you're going to go and then people are going to stop, and then they're going to start following in suit of what you do. So for an example, like I told you guys, throughout my childhood, I was like made fun of like nobody's business, like by family members, and also just in general, like in life in general. And so I went and there's this thing that I do where I call my husband Boo Boo. I don't know, I just do that. And I got made fun of big time by people close to me. And you know what, like I literally could hear them making fun of me for doing this. And so they went and started calling their significant other Boo Boo, and then their friends started calling their significant other Boo Boo. And so I know that I have some form of influence, and that it's just the part of it is getting made fun of, and that's just part of it. And it's actually a good thing to go and stand out. You're gonna get made fun of, and then people will follow in suit in what you do. At least that's what I'm seeing, because a lot of the time, in general, even in person, when I go to work and all that, like at first people will make fun of me, and then they'll go and follow in suit what I do, because they'll see that I'm being recognized, and so the employer will love me, and then they'll start following in suit in what I do. Usually that's what happens a lot of the time, because I've worked in a lot of different places. And so that's just part of influencing. It is what it is. And it's a good thing if you have good intention, you're genuine, and you know that you influence and aware of your behaviors, then just go and do it. And don't go and be shy about it, and that's also why I go on here, because I know that I have some form of influence on people, and that's kind of what I want to do. And maybe it's a good thing that I got made fun of big time in way younger, like the time that I was born. And so now as an adult, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just get made fun of. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. And so that is, part of why I gotten on here, was to go and influence. And, everyone influences, but a lot of people don't really know that they do that. until they pick up on people following in suit of what you do and what you say, or just in general of who you are. So some people will follow in suit in various ways by their actions and just, just in general, you'll pick it up. And so it's also a good thing when people go and follow in suit of you. And a lot of people may view it as, as annoying or like really creeped out and all that. And it's like, whatever. To me, I don't really care. And so that is why I went on here to go and influence, to make more income, share my ideas, get people to see my point of view, to go and have all the abundance in the world that I've always wanted, to reach out so many people and to connect with people and to, go and touch as many lives as possible than me just being in person, because that's just, there's just so many that I can. And I know that when I walk in a room, I am a form of light, and so many people have tried to diminish it, and it has worked quite a bit of time, but then, I really see that of the people, which beings are trying to diminish my light, and I just know, okay, just walk away or block and just move on. And so that's just what I am seeing, and why I really started YouTube. And it is what it is. If I make a fool of myself, whatever, just you go and do redemption, and then everyone will move on. And I'm just here trying my best to wake up as many people as possible, and to get people to see a different life and a form of happiness and fulfillment, and to live your life and to not have to conform, and just being yourself. There's nothing wrong with it, and living a life of what you want to do. And yeah, that's really why I'm on here, is to go and try out so many ideas. And I hope that I can get more and more people to see so much more there is to life.